A long, 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 long time ago, in a galaxy far, 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 far away. In fact, so far away that it went right away all around the spherical universe and met itself behind itself. So it wasn't far away at all. It was just behind you. Two cats walked into a bar. One of the cats goes straight up to the bar and sits down on the seat. And the other cat goes straight up to the bar too, but he stands near the tops in the hope of getting some attention and service at this busy time. But then he thinks, wait a minute, if it's so busy, how come he was able to get a stool at the bar straight away? Usually when it's busy, the bar is packed with people, packed with pockets of people for pure, not alliteration, wherever you call that thing, where you go packed with pockets of people, poppy pepper pocket. What's that thing called? It's not alliteration. Or is it the thing where you... poets use it. So do politicians sometimes as a gimmick to try and distract from what they're saying. They'll bring in these verbal gimmicks, thinks the cat. Anyway, the cat stands at the bar tops, gazing longingly over the bar tops at what's behind. What's behind is basically a floor, but he can't see that. He can't see the floor that's behind the bar counter, nor are you meant to. But no, he can see what's behind the counter. There's bottles of things, glasses, a checkout. He's not gazing longingly at the checkout, although at one point it does open for a second and he sees all the cash inside. But no, cats don't get excited about cash. In fact, they get unexcited because it's full of smells of other people and other strange things. In fact, now that I think about it, they probably would get excited about it, but not in a good way. They'll get curious about it. They spend half the day sniffing all the money in the checkout, trying to determine what all the cents are from, and they'll probably be freaked out by most of them, because most of them are new and strange and foreign. Not foreign as in a racist type of way, no, foreign as in from strange places to them, from strangers, I suppose, is another way of putting it. A foreigner is just a stranger that you haven't recognised as a stranger yet. Oh no, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why does it have to? Doesn't have to make sense. This is a two cats walk into a bar story, not a freaking essay on the movement of people around the earth from country to country. No. If you want that sort of thing, go and listen to, I don't know, some other podcast. This isn't that sort of place. This is Into Your Head, number 590 for Wednesday. Hello.
Hi, this is Chad from the OnSug Network, and when I travel virtually in the computer...
Sean os on Leone Lonsog, agus nuair a tastáil mé beagnach an riomh team into do ceann. An $1 board is jockey do ceann, do ceann a cuair méid uach taréis an ketchup an burrito chocolate.
I go into your head.
Now boarding. Into your head.
I've just put the ketchup on the last burrito.
Anyway, back to a long time ago in a galaxy far, 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 far away. In fact, so far away that it's right behind you. As I explained earlier, don't make me repeat myself, please. If you missed anything, just go back and rewind your MP3 player or your software, whatever you call it, and have a look at it. Have a look at what I said already and figure it out for yourself, for Christ's sake. But oh no. Anyway, back a long time ago in a galaxy far, 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 far away, etc. These two cats are in the bar, and one of them is sitting on the stool that he miraculously found despite the bar being full. The other one is gazing longingly at what's behind the counter. Anyway, a normal cat, a normal non-speaking, non-bar visiting cat. Non-bar visiting from the point of view of humanoid bar visiting. Anyway, this normal cat comes walking along the bar on all fours, not like these upright humanoid type cats that are there drinking. And he comes along and he says, meow, 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 meow. And straight away the bar lady comes along, puts a saucer of milk in front of him. And the humanoid style cat, who's standing there waiting to be served, says, oh, for fuck's sake, why does he get served in front of me? He's only just arrived. And the bar woman said, well, for one thing, he's my cat. He lives here. This is the bar cat. You think you're bar cats just because you patronate a bar every day or so? No, this is a proper bar cat that lives here, lives with me in my apartment over the bar, and is entitled to pride of place. This is the equivalent of, back in the old days, they used to have traditional ship's cats. You'd have a ship's cat on every ship who'll be there to catch mice. Well, this cat is here to catch sources of milk that I put out for him that are on the house. Anyway, what can I get you? And the cat says, I'll have a saucer of milk, please. And the bar woman said, and what about for your friend? And he says, well, the saucer of milk is for my friend. I was about to tell you what I'm having for myself. If you give me a fucking chance to finish my paragraphs. You people think just because you let someone finish a sentence, then you can just butt in. No, let me finish my fucking paragraph, you stupid bitch. And then he goes on and says, I'll have a double whiskey espresso, please. And the bar woman says, get out immediately. And the cat says, what do you mean immediately? And she says, like immediately as in a few seconds ago when I first said immediately. I want you to get out then. And the cat says, I can't time travel. I can't go back in time to back when just a millisecond just after you said immediately for the first time and then get out. You missed your opportunity to get me to get out at that millisecond. There's no way of doing anything about it to remedy it until such time as time travel is invented, or until some time travel person comes back in time to now and helps us, assists us with our needs. But until then, I'll have a saucer of milk and what did I say? A double whiskey espresso, please. And the woman says, fair enough. Would you like them shoved up your arse, or would you like them poured on top of your friend there, while I explain to him that his friend is a cunt? And the cat says, the former, please. The latter sounds a bit much, quite frankly. In a place where you come to for a bit of hospitality, a public house, if you will, or perhaps you won't, but you're supposed to, according to the legal definition of a public house, as defined by your bar license. And the woman says, you're very smart, aren't you? Very, very smart indeed. But you're not the one sitting happily on the counter right now lapping milk, are you? No. If you kept your mouth shut and just meowed and looked cute, I can tell you you'd have a much better time here. And the cat says, no, I wouldn't. You treat me like a stray neighbouring cat and you tell me to get out immediately. You only give milk to your own cats, you miserable bitch. And the woman says, I suppose that's true. You got me there, well done. Now get out. And the cat gets out, and his friend sits there for a moment before realising, he's done it again. He's had some stupid conversation with the bar person and got himself kicked out again. Oh well, and he follows him out, and they meet at their usual agreed meeting point, 3 pillars to the left of the exit up the street, and then they continue their bar crawl. Monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big steaming piles of monkey nuts. Big steaming galloping piles of, galloping piles, I suppose. Galloping piles. That's a good name for a podcast. We've already had one called Galloping Hay before. In fact, it was a 2-hour special when I came back from my recent break. So we'll call this one Galloping Piles, will we? I'll just write it in here now. Excuse me. Bear with me a moment while I write in the show title here. Bollocks. Come up window, you cunt. I think I have a virus, do you know that? I have some sort of frigging virus like AIDS or something. Is AIDS a virus, or I don't know the exact details. Some smart arse will come along and say, AIDS is not a virus, HIV is a virus that causes AIDS. Well, give me a fucking break. I wasn't even talking about that type of virus. I was talking about a computer virus. I was without internet for a while there. I didn't do my proper checks. Let's see. I can't fucking bring up that. Anyway, galloping. Note to self, call this galloping piles when you're able to bring that frigging program to the front. That frigging program. That's what we could call it, frigging program. But no, that's why I always do this. I pick a name and then I keep changing my mind and talking myself out of it. If there's one thing that's more stupider than anything else in this world, it's talking yourself out of something that you thought of. No, you can't be. If you go down that route, you're very close. You're only a pinprick away from being a schizophrenic, multiple personality person. Not that there's anything wrong with having too much personality. It's when you have too many personalities that becomes a problem. Don't get me wrong. Too much personality is not a bad thing. It's just when you split the personalities out into different vessels, because those turn out to be imaginary vessels. You've only one vessel in your head. You've only one brain, unless you're some sort of co-joined twin. So you've only one vessel, so you need to keep all your personality in one vessel. If you have more than one, it's like when you get one of those Apple Macs and you partition it and you put Windows on one side and Apple stuff on the other. That's a schizophrenic computer, but that's okay because that's just ones and zeros. When you do it in your mind, that's when it becomes a problem. Or so we're told anyway by the so-called experts who spend years studying psychology and psychiatricness and all these things. These are the people we put on pedestals. These people, these learned people who spend their life studying and all that sorts of stuff. Fucking fantastic. Anyway, where was I? I can't remember where I was. Was I doing the cat thing again, or was I can't remember. How did I start this segment? Galloping piles. Can I write this in yet? Fucking hell. Now my frigging task manager is up. I hope you can still hear me over the noise of this task manager. Here's a geeky little analogy for you. Anyway, note to self, galloping piles. That's what you call this episode. I think you should stop recording now and sort out this mess.
Do you have requests, questions, comments, suggestions, clarifications? Contact Neal at studio@intoyourhead.com. That's studio@intoyourhead.com.
Hello, it's me again. I figured out where I was. I wrote in galloping piles into the correct field in the appropriate program, and I found out what the beginning of this segment was about. It was the monkey nut thing, the usual monkey nut thing. And then I did the rather clever, if you don't mind me saying so, analogy involving the human brain and personalities and vessels and all that sort of thing. That was very clever. So apparently that's where I was going with this segment. So it's pretty much done now. There's nothing to add to that unless you want me to take a different track. Do you want me to change the subject or move gracefully onto something else? Or I don't know. Just what do you call it? Organically let the topic evolve. That's what I usually do, but I don't usually analyse it so openly here. I think it's the equivalent of when someone draws attention to the fact that you're making eye contact and then you're very self-conscious for the rest of the day. You've made me self-conscious now of the track of this subject line, so I think the best thing to do here is to end this segment. Two cats walk into a bar, their second bar of the night as it happens. They had been kicked out of the other one. That's not technically accurate. One of them had been kicked out, and the other one, being part of a two-cat outing, decided he might as well follow him out, because otherwise it becomes a one-cat outing, or two separate one-cat outings, I suppose. And that's not really how the night was planned. And if you're a cat, you don't want to be going into bars on your own, or being left in bars on your own. It's hard enough as a cat, as a twosome, but if you're a one-some, or two one-sums, it doesn't matter how many one-sums there are, it's all just as difficult. It doesn't matter if there's a cat in each bar in the street, that doesn't make it any easier for any individual cat who's in the bar on their own. It's only when you see, numbers don't mean anything until you add them together. You could have 85 cats in bars, but if they're all in separate bars, that doesn't give them any benefit of groupage. No, you have to stick them all together, put them all together in one group, and then of course there's such a thing as going too far. If you've 85 of them going into a bar at once, there's a good chance that won't go well for either them or the other party, who will probably either kick them out or freak out or go, why is there 85 cats in my bar? This is taking a joke too far. There's such a thing as going too far for a bit of a story. That's what the bar people, unless of course there's 85 bar people, in which case that'll probably make it a bit more manageable. Now I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking a person is approximately 150 times the size of a standard domestic cat, so you'd only need about 3 people to balance out 85 cats. But I think, as I alluded to earlier, these aren't normal size cats. These are upright humanoid type cats that you use in a two cats walk into a bar story, not your standard domestic cat who curls up on the counter with a saucer. No, these are humanoid type just as the aliens in Star Trek are humanoid style aliens. People complain about that, but you try finding an 8-legged, 2-headed, 3-mouthed, quasi-stomached, 85-foot tall actor to play a convincing alien. I tell you, you'll narrow your choices there. So they have to take poetic license there. Well, it's the same with my two cats walk into bar stories. I can't just use a domestic cat, because that's just not going to work out. A domestic cat going to a bar and asking for a frigging pint. No, they'll just go row, row, row. They won't be taken seriously at all. The only context in which they'll be taken seriously is if they walk into their own home and they be out with their owner, in which case it's a whole different kettle of fish. If these were mostly two cats walk into their own owner's home stories, I can tell you, then they wouldn't need to be 6-foot tall humanoid style creatures. They could be ordinary bog standard domestic. And I know what you're thinking there too. You're thinking you could use tigers and cheetahs and things. They're cats. Well, it's very clever of you. Have you ever been in a bar in which a cheetah walked in, and have you just calmly remained there while the cheetah stood at the bar? No, that would cause chaos. That would be like the podcasting equivalent of what's his name's War of the Worlds radio play with what's his face. When he did the thing, he did the live radio play about the world ending, and everyone listened and thought the world was ending, and they panicked. And well, that's the sort of thing that would happen if you inserted a wild cat into a bar. So no, you have to pick your cats carefully for these, and sometimes you have to take poetic license and take a bit of responsibility for what's happening to these admittedly fictional characters in this admittedly fictional, well, it's not a fictional story, it's a real story. It's just, it doesn't exist until I bring it into existence, and I'm its what do you call it, its midwife, I suppose. So I feel a certain bit of responsibility here, so excuse me for being a bit professional about this.
There's still more to come on
Into Your Head.
Would you like your own Two Cats Walk Into a Bar story, specially personalised and unique, and made to order for you or a friend as a gift? Just go to intoyourhead.com/services for details. That's intoyourhead.com/services. Absolutely fucking fantastic.
Into your head.
Do you use Amazon? Well, if you do, then you're in luck, because I've got a good cause that you can help without costing you a single cent more, but you can help us quite significantly. Every time you buy anything on Amazon, all you have to do is click through my Amazon links at intoyourhead.com. There's one for Amazon.com, one for Amazon UK, and one for Amazon Canada. And if you go through your appropriate link before you go to Amazon, and then just go ahead with wherever you're going to purchase or search for and buy it, I get a generous cut of at least 5% every time you make a purchase. It doesn't cost you a cent extra. You pay the same prices, but you help me pay for cat food, and you help reimburse me for my entertainment that I provide to you here on a technically free basis. It's free, except it's not free of requests like this. So do that. And while you're at it, go to intoyourhead.com/offers and see my other affiliate links for brain tonic energy drinks. What else? Pet supplies, prescription glasses shipped worldwide, free audiobooks, all sorts of crap like that. Intoyourhead.com/offers. Anyway, on with the show. You're listening to the last 10 minutes of today's episode. Isn't it absolutely fucking fantastic? We're 2/3 of the way there. If this was a marathon, we'd be at the point where, there'd be still 60% of us in the race, 2 of us dead from heart attacks. What else? Exactly what? 38%. I don't know how that breaks down. The only knowledge I have of marathons comes from Stephen King's book The Long Walk, a novel which he wrote under a pseudonym originally. Richard Bachman, or whatever he is, a Bachman or Bachman, I don't know. All I can think of when I see that is Bachman Turner Overdrive, which I assume is pronounced Bachman. Not to be confused with Batman, which is a different thing. Or is it? I don't know. I've never managed to sit through a whole Batman movie. No more than I've managed to sit through a whole Star Wars movie. Neither of those genres interest me at all. I've better things to do than sit around watching freaking some fella with 2 heads battling a fella dressed as a spider climbing up a wall. Some I don't know, some woman chases after him. I don't understand this crap at all. In my day, those things happened in 2-dimensional comics. No, you went into the shop and you got your comic in a bag and you brought her home and you lay on the bed reading it, and it came with free bubble gum that you crammed down your gob. That filled you up for a while, and then of course your big brother would come along and tell you you're not supposed to swallow that, you know. And those words would come back to haunt you when you're an adult, I can tell you. Anyway, on with the show. Why Cats Can't Use Antiperspirant by me, first published 2004. I've been toying with the idea of giving up alcohol permanently and substituting it with sweets or something. I find that I've become addicted to its medicinal qualities, and rarely does a week go by when I don't accidentally get a bruise on my knee and dab it with an alcohol-soaked squab to disinfect it. Experts believe that there is a particular pore behind our knees which, when exposed to sunlight, can lead us to feeling happier. This is unfortunate for me, because the last thing my knees need when they're hungover is the sun shining down them like a ton of bricks. I've always found, though, that alcohol makes me happy. It may be because beer cans here in Ireland come with a Dilbert comic printed on them, which they don't, or it may be that I'm a raging alcoholic. Either way, I find finally come to the conclusion that it's time to grasp the bull by the steering wheel and go to the AA. I'll ask them whether they'll reduce my motor insurance premium if I stop drinking. Oh Christ, me of the past who wrote this in 2004. That's crap. Anyway, it goes on. The Automobile Association has always been a fine refuge for those of us who like to drink. Before I finally collapse for the night, I always make sure to fall into a car that has an AA member sticker on the windscreen. For one thing, I love the yellow and black logo, and it may interest to you to know that I've deleted a rather poor bit here about a Russian cartoon that used to be shown on Irish television in the 1980s. But besides that, it's always lovely when I wake up with a massive headache and all I have to do is call up a mechanic to fix the window that somehow got broken during the night. He usually turns up within half an hour and brings tea and donuts, so that's breakfast taken care of. I've thought about making them bring a change of clothing too, but recently I found out that if I just concentrate, I can aim the other way and I don't get any vomit on them at all usually. It's very important when reclaiming your body from alcohol and becoming a teetotaler that you cleanse out your body by having plenty of fruits and juices and healthy crap like that. For that reason, I've taken to drinking a lot of apple juice. Well, I did, that is, until last night. Last night being a night in 2004 when this was written. I did, that is, until last night when there was a documentary on the Discovery Channel about fruit juices. I didn't see it, but it was in the TV listings, and apparently it said that apple juice is pretty much the same as cider. Since cider comes in larger cans than traditional apple juice, I've decided to switch to cider. That way I'll get even more apple juice into my system, and it won't be long until I'm permanently dry. I've always been a great admirer of the Discovery Channel ever since I discovered it. There's nothing that I don't know about how zebras fuck each other in the wilderness, and I'm all the better and richer for it. I've learned an awful lot from these programs, and I don't remember writing this filth. I've learned an awful lot from these programs, and I've put much of it into practice. Yesterday I took a little trip to the zoo on the way home and had a great time. They sell lovely ice cream there too. That reminds me, many of you probably have always assumed that ducks don't care if there's a huge Noah-style flood. This is rather short-sighted of you. When the water level rises to the highest mountaintops, as it did in biblical times, the ducks have to swim at a much higher altitude than normal, unless they manage to get their hands on some standby tickets for a passing ark. Obviously, during Noah's kick-ass biblical flood, oxygen tanks were at a premium, but Noah had to supply them to every duck on the planet. Otherwise, what you would have had was an ark with hundreds of ducks swimming around beside it, quacking sarcastically and making Noah look ridiculous by implying that they were managing to survive without any help from him whatsoever. At least if he supplied the oxygen tanks, Noah could take credit for their ongoing good health and not look like an idiot. Obviously, this ate into Noah's costs quite a bit. He cut back by not having any cats on board. As a result, all of the cats that we have in the world today are completely free of sin, as they are all descended from cats who were born after the flood, which according to the Bible was sent to kill off all the evil beings in the world. That's why cats are always licking themselves, by the way. They were born at a time when there was still a lot of dampness around after the flood, so they're not used to being dry and have to cover themselves with saliva to make themselves feel normal. For the same reason, cats are very uncomfortable with the idea of using antiperspirants. Anyway, this is from a thing I wrote several years ago, and I don't necessarily still agree with the sentiments. Anyway, just write in that I used this on the podcast in June 2012, because I have a habit of accidentally repeating these without realising. Where are we? I hope the fuck that was. Oh, it was recording. That was recording. That's fantastic. So I suppose that's pretty much the end of the show now. Unless you've anything else you want me to deal with, in which case you have approximately 2 minutes to email me, studio@intoyourhead.com, or tweet me at intoyourheadpod, or Facebook me at facebook.com/intoyourheadpodcast, or wherever else you want to do do, but you have only a few seconds left to do it now, and since this isn't live, I don't know how you're going to get this message, quite frankly, but just don't say I never invite listener interaction here, because I do. Anyway, good morning.
Sit, Laurie, sit. Good cat.